Hey everyone, hey students, all right, I hope you love my background and of course my goggles. All right, today I'm going to share with you a small concept, okay, and we call this the sum of consecutive numbers, all right. It's a P6 math concept in patterns. And I realize that many students, they do not know how to approach such questions because apparently some of my students, in fact, I would say all of my students, most of my students actually told me that in school, they don't learn much about that. So I am going to use this video in hopes that I'll be able to help you understand better on how to approach such questions, right? Is there a method to this? 100%. But can you just, work like a robot? That means, are you going to approach the question like a robot? No. All right, so you need to be like water, okay? Be versatile about this, okay? So I'm gonna, explain a little bit about some of consecutive numbers. There are some things that you need to know, all right? A formula as well. So let's get the ball rolling. Okay, the first thing that you need to understand is this, okay? How can you spot a sum of consecutive number question? Okay, the first thing that you need to understand is this. I look at this very, very, very carefully. All right, when you see a question that has, okay, this plus 2. All right, so how do I get from 1 to 3? I plus 2. All right, how do I get from 3 to 6? I plus 3. How do I get from 6 to 10? I plus 4. How do I get from 10 to 15? I plus 5. Once you have this, you need to quickly list down, or in fact write down, okay, the mathematical pattern. Okay, I repeat that again, the mathematical pattern. Okay, I call this the mathematical pattern. Okay, so I'm going to show you how, all right, you can actually do this. Okay, so you can write down figure number 1 is equals to 1. Figure number 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 equals to 3. Figure number 3 is equals to 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. Can you see what I'm doing? All right, figure number 4 is equals to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. All right, these are what we call mathematical pattern. Okay, these are all, okay, in fact, this entire thing is what I call the mathematical pattern. It's super important, okay? Once you have listed this down, okay, then the next thing you need to ask yourself is, okay, of course, read the question, right? And then after that, you have to apply this formula. As you can see over here, always list down the mathematical pattern. Okay, in order for you to use the formula, you need to have the mathematical pattern first. In fact, what I will do is, I will swap this around. Why am I swapping this around? Because you have to list down the mathematical pattern first before you can use the formula. All right, so I'm going to use a question to solidify whatever that, I have talked about today for sum of consecutive numbers in patterns. Okay, now the resource that I'm going to use is actually from Mary Stella, SA2, P6. Once more, P6 2020, SA2 Mary Stella. Okay, so let's take a look at this question. Of course, right? You always have to read first. Okay, so John used triangles and squares to form the figures below. As you can see, these are triangle, triangle, and then a square. All right, and then after that, okay, each square has a side of 2 centimeters. Okay, that means what they're trying to say is this side is 2, all right, or 2 cm. Okay, that means to say every side is also 2 cm. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, now, so that's one thing that you have to know. And then after that, they continue to tell you that each triangle has an area that is half of each square. So what they are trying to say is this, okay, if the area of one square is 2 times 2, which happens, or in fact, which is 4 centimeters square, all right, the triangle's area will be half, which means to say the triangle's area will be 2 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to know. Okay, very important. Okay, now, and then I continue to, work on this question. In fact, continue to look at the question A. How many squares are there in figure 4? Okay, now, looking at this, all you need to do is, okay, look at the number of triangles. Okay, number of triangles shows you one thing, right? That the number of triangle is actually one more than the figure number. That's what you need to know. Okay, in fact, that's one thing that you can actually write down. Okay, so the number of triangles is actually just simply figure number plus 1. So if they were to ask you, hey, can you find the number of triangles for figure number 100? Don't be like, oh my goodness, that means I have to plus. No, you don't have to. You just have to do 100 plus 1. Okay, if they were to ask you such a question. Okay, but in this question, in this question, did they? No, they did not. Okay, now I'm going to go on to the number of squares. Okay, always list down the mathematical pattern. Okay, so in fact, okay, over here is the interval first. Okay, let's talk about the interval first. How do I get from 1 to 3? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. How do I get from 1 to 3? I plus 2. Right? How do I get from 3 to 6? I plus 3. How do I get from the next one, 6 to the next number? I plus 4. So therefore, your answer for the first one, all right, in fact, A itself, easily you'll get 1 mark for that, all right? It's actually 10. 10 what? Okay, it's the 10, or in fact, number of squares equals to 10. Okay, now, then after that, we move on, all right? And then we look at B. They are asking us for the area of figure number 30, all right? So what they're trying to ask you is actually this itself, okay? What did I say? You can actually find the number of figures, right? Simply just do 30 plus 1, which is equals to 31. Okay, so I know the number of triangles is 31. I know figure number is 30. Now, the thing I have to note, right, is the number of squares. All right. Okay, why am I doing, or in fact, why am I finding the number of squares and then after the number of triangles when they're asking us for the number of figures? Okay, simply because there is a relationship between the number of triangles and the number of squares and the area of figure. Okay, later words we will see, or in fact, let's just explore a little bit now. Okay, now the number of triangles, right? If there are 3 triangles, just now we learned that the area of triangle is actually 2 centimeter. If I have 3 triangles, okay, it means 2 times 2, which is equals to 6 centimeters squared. All right. If I have how many squares? 3 squares. And if 1 square is 4 centimeters square, all right, 3 squares will be times 4, which is equal to 12 centimeters square. So what can we say? We can say that the area for triangles plus the area for squares is obviously equal to the area of figure. So what I'm going to do now is to find the area of, or in fact, sorry, the number of squares first. Okay. How do I find that? Okay. List down your mathematical pattern. Okay. So figure number 1. Okay. I have 1 square. Figure number 2, I have 3 square. Figure number 3, I have 6 square. When you look at this, right, you need to quickly write down. Okay, in fact, you shouldn't even write all of this. You should write this 1 plus 2 equals to 3. All right, and then so this is what I call listing down your mathematical pattern. Okay, now then after that I move on. Look at figure number 3, 6, right? So it's 1 plus 2 plus 3, isn't it? All right, this is 6. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. All right, and then after that, we go on to mathematical, or in fact, figure number 4. Okay, it's actually 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is equals to 10. Okay, as you can see, all right. Now, they are asking us for what? Figure number 30. Okay, so I want to find figure number 30. Okay, how do I do this? So figure number 30 is simply just 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Of course, you don't want to list down, right? All the way until 30 is equals to question mark. And this is the question mark that I need to solve. All right, how do I find that question mark? Okay, very simple. Use the formula that I've taught you. Okay, over here it says the last digit times the last digit plus 1 divided by 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the formula first. Okay, because to find the sum of consecutive numbers, right, you just have to do the last digit times the last digit plus 1 over 2. I apologize. Over here shouldn't be figure number. It should be the sum of consecutive number. I guess I forgot to actually change it because I guess this was actually copied from my previous slides, okay, which happens to be the figure number, okay? All right, so don't get confused, okay? I apologize for that, but yep, you just have to make the change, okay? So this is the sum of consecutive numbers. In fact, if you were to, or in fact, if you are my student, you have my notes, right? Okay, you will see it's actually sum of consecutive numbers, okay? Now, so I hope I have clarified this. Let me just shift this a little bit. Okay, this down. Okay, now so you can find the sum of consecutive numbers using this formula. All right, but of course you have to list down the mathematical pattern. Okay, so over here you write down last digit. Okay, last digit do what? Last digit times. Okay, last digit plus 1. Okay, over 2. All right. Now, over 2. So what I'm going to do is looking at the last digit of figure number 30, the last digit is actually 30. So 30 times 31 over 2. Okay, why is it 31? Because last digit is 30, right? Plus 1 is equal to 31. All right, so just remember, you really have to memorize this formula. Okay, when you do your calculation, right? Okay, 30 times 31 divided by 2. Can you all just, spend some time to do your calculation? Okay, of course, in this segment, you can actually use the calculator, no problem at all. All right, so this is actually 465. Okay, so what they are trying to say is this: hey, I have 465 squares. Okay, simple. All right, simple. Now, even if they were to ask you for 100, right, don't worry, just list down the mathematical pattern. all right, you put dot, 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 because you don't want to list down everything, right? Then you put 100. So it'll be 100 times 100 plus 1, which is 100 times 101 divided by 2. Okay, just letting you know. So over here, I get 465, right? Now, and then I can find the area of figure easily, isn't it? All right, how do I find the area of figure? Very simple. Okay, in order for me to find the area of figure, I just have to do the number of triangles, which is 31, I times the measurement itself. Okay, triangles itself is 2, so 31 times 2. Okay, plus, okay, let's go on to the number of squares. It's just 465 times 4. Okay, why 4? Because 1 square is 4 centimeters. Okay, so 31 times 2 is 62. All right, plus 465 times 4, which is 1860. You add them up together, what would you get? You will get 1922 centimeters square. So therefore, this question mark, all right, is 1922 centimeters square. All right, simple as that. Okay, so please, if you can, right, okay, I would really advise you to, do it together with me. Okay, and then of course, right, if you are my student, definitely you will know what are the other, or in fact, I will have given you some questions to practice, or in fact, quite a few questions to practice. Okay, so not too easy. I hope you walk away from this video learning something very important. Okay, so this is actually 4 marks. Go and get the 4 marks. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope I have turned your, confusion into clarity. Okay, thank you so much and bye-bye.